Alright, I'm back. Finally. And I'm planning on doing some videos for you guys. Now, this video is going to keep on the topic of guides, and I'm hoping it'll be a little different from the normal ones. Now, this guide, I'm going to be going in depth with a scav tutorial slash guide. Basically giving you guys a whole rundown on what is a scav, what the benefits of scavving is, how scav karma works, how to gain it, how you can progress your scav to make it better, what maps are the best for scavving into, how to best use your scav when you do use it, as well as just some min-maxing tips I have for your scav runs. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into it. Alright, so starting off, in Escape from Tarkov, you have your very familiar menu screen. Now if you click Escape from Tarkov, and all the more experienced players are going to know these very, very basic things, but in case you're new, I'm going to go through it. So the scav is, well, as it says, beginner rated as scav. It's a local bandit with a random set of gear. Tarkov is your home, and you make the rules. Now that's exactly what your scav runs are like. Now, unless you're scabbing with your friends, you're going to be alone. But don't worry, because when you go in as a scav, all the scavs that normally spawn, all the NPCs that are scavs, won't harm you. So the only real enemies you have when you go in on your scav raids are the PMCs. Now, every now and then, you will run into another player scav like yourself who isn't friendly, and they may just possibly kill you. So, yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. But like your normal PMC, your scav has very much the same characteristics as PMCs. All the stats that you would normally see on your overall page when you go into raid as a PMC, your scav actually has. So I'm going to pull up some footage of my scav stats at the current moment in time right now, which is 23 days into white, 12 to white 12. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys what my scav stats are, and then we're going to sort of talk about it. Okay, so here we are on the skills page of my scav, and as you guys can see, these are completely different from my PMC ones. Now, it's going to be different from your guys' PMCs, your guys' scavs, just depends on how much you scav into the raids, but it has all the same stats. You still have your endurance, your strength, vitality, health, metabolism, all of it. You can scroll down the list, check them all out for yourselves, get a good idea of what your scav is at right now, and you can actually get these to elite levels, so that's one thing I definitely recommend. Next, we're going to go on to the overall page, and this is actually a recording that I did last night. Now here you can see the overall tab for my scav. I have 97 raids completed, 63 survived with a survival rate of 64%. And again, different from your PMC. Take a look at it for yourselves. You get to see the stats of how your scav's doing, how you've been performing on your scavs, and it's just overall pretty great. And yeah, without further ado, we're going to cut straight back to the main part of the video. Peace. Okay, so now that you guys saw what my scav stats are, we're going to talk a little bit about the scav and what it is now. So you guys saw the overall page, your survival rate, your average survived, killed in actions, the number of kills you have, your KD ratio, all that sort of thing. You're going to have seen all of that in this page. Now it will show you the total cost of the items you have on you roughly. I don't know how accurate that is, but it also has the same gear tab. Obviously, you're not going to have your stash in your raid. It also has the health, where you can see all your health, your food, hydration. And it also has the skills tab. Now, like PMC skills, scav skills progress the exact same. Now, don't quote me on how exact that exactness is, but I would say from experience, it's almost 100% the exact same. So when you're in raid as a scav, if you're running around underweight, you will gain endurance while you do it. So I always recommend doing that. You also have your map and you don't have any tasks as a scav. So back to the title screen. Now, another question that people who are newer or just even maybe the chads who just like playing and are like, man, why? What's the benefit of even scavving? Why do I need it? I already have all the money I need. But if you don't have all the money in the world you need, scavving is a great option. It's also a great option for doing your daily quests. Now, this is something I figured out in the past couple of weeks here, is doing daily quests with your scav. I mean, often enough, your daily quests, it will say hand in, I don't know, pack of screws and 2 packs of nails. And sometimes on a PMC, if you guys are like me, I don't like going for my daily quest items on my PMC. I find it a waste of time. I'm in a raid to either loot or go for kills. And often I'm not looking for the worthless sort of, I don't know, MBSS bags for this one daily quest. That's only going to get me 6k XP. But if you guys are newer and you want to make more money and you want to get your dailies done easier with no consequence, scavving is a great option. And I can't emphasize it enough. Your scav is probably the most valuable thing that this game offers you. It is a free gear set to go in and gamble with. Sure, they're not the best. They're really not the best. Half the time you might have a Taz, who knows? But regardless, you will have 4 slots in your pockets for whatever loot you can pick up. Even if you don't have a backpack, nothing. You still can get out with money on your scavs, and it's worth it. Now, how does scav karma work? That's been a big topic of discussion in this current wipe. Because if you aren't familiar, if you guys aren't familiar, in the last patch, which was patch 12.11, so the previous wipe to this, Battlestate introduced scav karma via the trader fence. So as you guys can see, this is your trader reputation, and you have it with all your traders, whether it be prapper, peacekeeper, mechanic, whatever. They all have their own trader reputation. Now, unlike the other traders, for fence, there's only very, very few specific ways you can increase your karma with him. One is surviving raids of scavs. So I know for a fact that surviving 1 grade as a scav gets you 0.01 rep with fence. Killing a PMC, I believe, is the exact same amount, and then plus 0.01 for however many scavs that PMC has killed. And then also you can get scav karma for killing other player scavs who have killed scavs. So essentially the bad scavs. As well, you can also, and this is the big one, is you can get it by taking car extracts as a PMC. So I'm going to go through the following maps that all have car extracts and show you guys those locations. Okay, so I'm actually going to rerun through all the car extracts real quick because I did it so slow. So starting off, woods. Your extraction in the car will be on the northeast side, right above this village here, and is located at this bridge. It is a black SUV and costs 5,000 rubles. If you see this village, run north. That's the tip I got. So next map that has a car extract is customs. Now, if you're not familiar with customs, there is the dorms location right here. Now, just north of the dorms, you will see a old red gate. As you see, old road gate. So at this gate, the dorms vehicle extract will spawn. It is also a black SUV, and it is also 5,000 rubles. Now on to interchange. On interchange, on the northern east side as well, right up by power plant, here is one of the petroleum trucks that you need to mark for your quests. Just to the east of the power plant station here, coming out of the computer room doors, you will see a open till like toll gate. sort of thing, and there will be a black SUV here. Now that is your extract, and also costs 5,000 rubles. Lastly, Lighthouse. So with the introduction of Lighthouse in patch 12.12, they did in fact add another vehicle extract. This one is called Road to Military Base Vehicle Extract, and is also located in the northern eastern side. However, it is not the ultimate northern eastern side, but northeast of the water treatment. You hit this road, follow it east or up this way towards the curve, and you will see another black SUV. And I haven't personally taken it, but I do believe it is 5,000 rubles. So that is all for the vehicle extracts. And if you guys don't know, with the vehicle extracts, their base cost will slowly go down as your scav reputation increases. It's a very small amount, but if you're doing it on customs and you have all the safe keys, it's easier to collect the money you need to get out of there. And yeah, so now we are going to cut back to the main part of the video. Okay, so like I said earlier, we discussed scav karma, how it works and how you increase it, where all the PMC vehicle extracts are, so you can help yourself with that. But now we're going to talk about progressing throughout your scav, or progressing your scav throughout the wipe. Now, me personally, I haven't done too much of this, so I'm kind of going off of a couple other videos I've seen, watched, things I've learned from other players. So there will be a couple more links in the description for a more clear basis of how scav karma actually works, in case you guys are confused. But progressing your scav mainly is done by increasing your scav karma. So from what other people have said, from what I've seen, the more scav karma you have, and the max limit is 6. So the more scav karma you have, the better loadouts your scav will spawn in with, the better gear your scav will spawn with, and overall, I believe the scav timer decreases, your scav junk box. So I'm actually going to go and show you guys. So in your hideout, you have your lucky scav junk box. Now mine's constructing, but each of the trades or barters or whatever payouts you can sort of do have a certain associated timer with them. And as you increase your fence reputation, whether it be on your PMC or your scav runs, the time it takes to complete each of those scav runs through your lucky scav case will actually decrease. So you'll get the items out of your scav case faster the higher your fence rep is. Now, the standard time for a scav run cycle, so how fast you can do a scav extract and go back into one, starts at a basis of 20 minutes. Now, that can change, not just on your fence karma, but mainly on your intelligence center. So at Intel Center at level 1, your cooldown is increased to 16.2%. I believe this number actually slightly increases more. Yeah. So you'll increase another 20% off that timer with Intelligence Center level 3. Now, along with the timer from the Intel Center and your fence rep, you can get it down to, I think the lowest number the guy talked about was 4 minutes. I don't know how accurate that is. Don't quote me, but it can be pretty fast. So throughout progressing your scav, you're going to be increasing your scav karma. And you might say, okay, all those great things about scav karma that I just said, whatever. I want to know, like, nitty gritty. Why as a good chatty player who doesn't struggle with money, why would I want to do that? And I will another reason for you. Once you reach 6 reputation with fence, so 600 survive scav raids, or however many car extracts you want to take as PMC, you will unlock his loyalty level 4 trading stash. Okay, yes, so I did double check it, and it is a shop for actually not the insured items. So correct me, it is for the uninsured items. So the items you don't insure that you lose in raid, and you say, oops, I'm not getting that back. You can buy those items in this tab. Now, okay, you guys might be saying, what the heck? Why would I even want to do that? Like, what's the point of me using the shop? I mean, it's just going to be super overpriced gear, right? And yes, you're not wrong. But here's the kicker. With the new update in 12.12, you can no longer list essentially class 4 rigs and up on the flea market, which means you're getting it from barters. Or you can get it from the shop. Now, sure, maybe you're going to be buying a slick for 300k, but the thing is if you even buy that slick, look how much it costs to insure. That's a pretty big and hefty number for a lot of players. And honestly, it's a slick. Who wouldn't take it? But on the off chance that someone does take it, well, yeah. So keep an eye out on this tab if you do want to go and push for this max loyalty rep. It can open up opportunities because of the new flea market system. I mean, not being able to buy all the same ammos, or heck, not even being able to buy a majority of the rigs and armors. If you have a lower level ragman or you don't want to do their quests, at least scav in, get your scav rep up, and you'll be able to buy some of that gear at a more affordable price rather than trying to hunt it down in raid, because you can't buy it on the flea market anymore. Sad times. Very sad times. No more buying Gyarados or Brawlos. Not looking forward to that quest. Anyways, another question that everyone might be asking me now that I've gotten to this point. Okay, Almond, what's your favorite map to scav? And I would say, thank you very much for asking, because we're going to go take a look at the maps that there are to scav. And for all the new players, your maps are Interchange, Customs, Factory, Woods, Reserved, Lighthouse, Shoreline, that you can reserve on, or that you can scav on. So now we got that over with. Which ones are the best? Now, some of you guys are going to have your preference. I have my preferences. You guys are going to have yours. I'm just going to give you the nitty gritty of what I think about each of the maps as a scav, not as a player. As a player, a map can be totally different than it is as a scav. For an example of that, Lighthouse. Lighthouse as a scav is chill. Lighthouse as a PMC is super sweaty. So we're going to go through each of the maps. I'm going to give you my rundown on them as a scav. First off, Interchange. It is a great map to be a scav on. Not only are you going to be looking at those high value loot locations on Interchange as a scav, but you're also going to be wanting to hit the back shelves of Goshen? The back shelves, the ones with food on them, the brown shelf room. Yeah, the one with red shelf room. One with all the food on them. You're going to be wanting to hit main loot spots, back of that store, computer spawns wherever they are. Hell, even fabric spawns, because some fabrics are being really expensive. You want to check Ultramed. I actually found a Ledex in there the other day. It's pretty sick. Didn't get a clip of it though. Sad. So yeah, Interchange is a great map. When I needed to do upgrades for my Bitcoin farm, I would just scav Interchange, find as much stuff as I can, hoard it, throw in my scav junk box, and let it collect and pile up until I upgrade my Bitcoin. So next map for customs, Interchange, great for great. Well, love it. Another great map is Customs. Customs is an incredible map as a scav to just go in, hit all the spots that PMCs don't like to hit or refuse to hit, get out with a full inventory of whatever the heck you want. Customs has a great variety of loot. It has rare loot spawns in multiple locations, rare tech spawns upstairs, green screen room. It has computers in the van and in green screen room. It has everything. Weapons parts, you name it. So Customs is a great map to go in and sort of just have an easy backpack fill raid if you don't want to worry about competing for a lot of loot. I would really recommend Customs. However, keep in mind that customs is a bit more of a beginner map, so you may run into more frequent actual Scav players who are hostile to you because they might not know about the reputation system. And speaking of that, actually, you will lose Scav rep if you kill another Scav, so don't do it, please, for all of our sakes. As Scav brethren, don't kill player Scavs that void to you. And there's people that do it. Anyways, customs, great map to fill up your bag. Definitely recommend. Next, woods. Woods as a Scav is very graceful. However, you are probably going to get shot in the head. And if you know all the loot spawns for high value stuff, all that on woods, you are going to have a lot of success. So there are many guides of other YouTubers and whatnot doing woods money runs. Go and watch them, run them on your Scav, see how you feel, if you like it, if you don't like it, how you think the PvP is, if you run into any. And honestly, it's all personal preference. Factory, this is an interesting one. You see a lot of higher class streamers like Pestily. He does this a lot, and I think even Vox E does it. But a lot of those YouTubers or streamers will use their Scavs on Factory. Now, there's a couple scenarios in which I would highly recommend this. One, if you want to grind your Scav karma up really fast. This is a great way to do it. There's hardly any risk. Half the time when you're spawning as a player Scav, the PMCs are going to be leaving, so you don't really have to worry about that. And even if you do, it's Factory PvP, it's fun, who cares? But anyways, yeah, it is a great map to grind your Scav karma on because you can run to extract, make sure it's past 8 minutes, and you're good. You get a survival, you get 0.01 Scav rep, boom, done, secured. Not too much for loot, but it is a very safe survive run on your Scav. So if that's what you're looking for, Factory is recommended in my books. Reserve. Now, Reserve is a great PMC map. However, it is a very hard Scav map. Only reason I say this is one thing is that a lot of the loot on Reserve is often locked behind doors. So you're going to be needing to get some of your KPRL keys, whatever keys it is that typical PMCs run to unlock the rooms that have the intel folders, the extra safes, whatnot, the marked rooms. You're going to need a lot of those keys to make really good money on Reserve. However, sometimes you can get lucky. You can find those loose loot spawns and whatnot. But it is also good for raiders. If you're willing to take the risk as a Scav, which most people are, you can take on the raiders. They spawn at the train station. You can take on Gluhar if you really got a pair. They can spawn in the underground by the bunkers, literally underground these areas. And yeah, it's Reserve. It's a more of a riskier map as a Scav in my opinion, because a lot of PMC players tend to linger in this map. I feel like the other ones, the PMCs tend to go in, grab all the loot, quest items, whatever, and leave. Reserve people tend to linger, adventuring and PvPing. So it's a bit of an if in my books. Personally, I don't Scather too much. Moving on. Lighthouse. Now, as of patch 12.12, Lighthouse is the new gold mine. Also, I do quickly want to apologize for my voice. I have COVID. So, but yeah, Lighthouse is the new gold mine of maps. Whether you're a PMC, a Scav, whatever you name it, it is money. There is pure money to be made on this map. There's so many good loot guide tutorials, loot runs that so many other YouTubers have done. I'm not even going to bother going into it. All I can recommend, run those loot runs at night on your Scavs. I did one earlier and I got a Bitcoin, a roller, Veritas's pick, 2 sheriff's badges, a cyclone, and an L1 injector. And I got out and I was like, oh my god, this is so good. So Lighthouse, hands down, great choice. I choose it. If it's not interchange or customs, it's Lighthouse. And if it's not those three, it's almost nothing else. So yeah, can't go wrong with that. map, but I do highly recommend learning loot spawns, as well as if you want to take on the rogues. The rogues are a really great way to get some good gear when you're just starting. So look up some eliminating some rogue videos, stuff like that. There's a lot of the good ones out there. So look those up if you want to take the rogues on. But yeah, that's my bit for Lighthouse. Last but finally not least, we have Shoreline. My personal favorite health resort in all of the Tarkov area is definitely Shoreline. However, it's not on my scav. Shoreline, a lot of the good loot are locked behind the doors in the health resort. Purely because of that reason, I don't typically scav into the map. And honestly, I've gotten to the point as a player on Shoreline, I can do almost the whole thing in 7 minutes. I can run through all of West Wing, Admin Building, and East Wing, loot everything I want, and be leaving in 8 to 10 minutes. It's very fast. So trying to scav in and getting the players who are getting that loot is a bit of a struggle. Now, there is a lot of PvP in the Health Resort area, so you might be able to get an extra kit off someone or pick off a PMC. But honestly, it's not a map I recommend. You can do the stash runs is probably the best way I would recommend getting loot on Shoreline. But other than that, Shoreline is not my favorite. So that's all for my maps and my opinions on them. Alright, so that is actually going to end it here for this video. I was going to go in and do some scav raids, but kind of decided against it. I'm going to make that a whole separate video of me doing 20 scav raids on all the different maps, so you guys get a really good idea of what the loot looks like on those scav runs and the loot runs I take on them. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate a like, comment in the comment section what your favorite map to scav is. I'd love to hear it. I hope all of you guys return. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Links to my Discord here. Links to my Twitch here.